I am a lander down to my bone. I am a rice and lead a Creole. If about my custom you want to know, Creole culture will tell you more. Tell you how we talk, tell you what we eat, tell you how we live and what we believe. If about a peaceful people like me, tell you how we live in community.
Creole is a way of living. Creole is a feeling. Follow us through this journey, sense the Creole word around you, and add more senses to the word Creole.
What we're going to talk about today is the English-based Creole language, where we talk San Andres, Providence, and Catlina. Now we know that Creole and English are two different languages, related but different. Our language no got a name yet. Some call it Patois, some call it Bende, English, broken English. The researchers call it Saint Tangerine or call it Islanders. But the thing is, Creole people just call it Creole. It's very important to find a name to our language, and this name has to come from the heart. It has to be a name that shows how proud we are to talk it. Today, we're going to talk with Creole people that love, take care, and cherish the Creole language. Make we hear them.
Nowadays, plenty people struggle with Creole language. In a which sense? In a sense that they consider that no one proper way to talk. So they prefer try talk either English or Spanish or what I would call broken English. And this is something where we shouldn't struggle so much, because from Creole exists in our culture or from the community creating the archipelago, that one reality will survive centuries and it still exists. Even plenty people make effort to finish with it, other people start use it or diminish it to something we not got no value. Which is a Creole still exists among the people.
Okay, Creole in San Andres. Creole is alive in San Andres. Why? Because being all over the world, I used to work on ships for 11 years. And in 11 years, I see Creole everywhere. You go to Belize, you have Creole. You go to Jamaica, you have Creole. So Creole is a lifestyle. All over the Caribbean, we have Creole as a live language. And we're trying to rescue Creole here in San Andres. Here at Infotep, we have the tools, we have the teachers, we have the attitude. So that's why Creole is alive today more than any other time.
Okay, what happening to Creole today? Creole is in its maximum stage of development, I would say, social impact and development today. Today people not afraid to talk Creole. They're not ashamed to talk Creole. They don't accept non-discrimination around the Creole language. Today, people that are not Creole speakers don't understand that Creole is a language. It is legitimate, it is legal, and it is socially accepted. And that is one of the holes, one of the strengths that we have as racial people to conserve our identity. The language have helped racial people to believe more in themselves, to believe more that they can make it, to believe more into our culture, to believe more into our ancestry. Because through the language we rescue our ring play, we rescue our history, we rescue our little mythology, we rescue our cultural values, belief and faith. Everything comes through the language. So Creole today is popular as never before, and everybody wants to talk Creole. You know, the native children, they talk Creole naturally, but the adult, they talk it now without no restriction, and resident people want to learn to talk Creole. That's why I become also a Creole professor. I'm more 20 years in this Creole process, and for my surprise to the day, who want to learn Creole is not only with native rights, but a lot of resident people and even people from outside are interested to learn Creole today.
The Creole man. Me that the Creole man. Me can talk and understand. Oh no, listen, everyone talk Creole pan for me lang. Creole, that for me language, that for me born with it. It in me blood, it in me skin. Me can talk it and sing it.
Creole language has been at risk from the very beginning. It was first confronted to the proper English, the British Church English, and now to Spanish. But it keeps so strong and alive with all this mixture of Asian languages and African languages that make it so unique and so rich.
It's lacking, you know, it's not strong like before. It should be, you know, from wide years. The father teaches son, then my grandfather teach everybody. With the mixture now, we have people from all over Cartagena, Barranquilla. You know, the mixture now, Spanish take over. So we try to rescue Creole back again. We're losing ground, but we try to gain it back again, slowly.
I noticed plenty good things. Even though we got plenty, Creole got plenty things in opposition. Yeah, for example, the entities where should promote it and help Creole to survive might be should one reason or the other, which I know what focus on that. We know they get the support or the help where we would need for example in the institution them teach Creole and so forth, but we can see plenty people that make effort to learn Creole rather than the native islanders people or then come from the continent. They got deep interest. Why? Because they notice the importance what Creole got. When time you talk about one mother tongue, one set of people mother tongue, that the way how you can express yourself freely, genuinely, and you can express from the heart. So when time you meet up with islanders people, where might be go by one public entity for one service, for one explanation, for solve one problem, and they can express in a Creole how good it is because, for example, I talk Spanish and I talk English, yeah, and I can understand it, but I not talk them language fluently. And if I even talk it with certain fluency, I don't understand it so easy. So sometimes I have to repeat the things them to me, or they have to go in a deeper explanation so I can really understand. But when I meet up with somebody who know Creole and we can explain me the things them in a one language, that's something totally different, and I feel one level of tranquility and peace because you don't have to make so much effort to get the message when they try to translate to you.
You teach Creole and the perspective of the conversational Creole, how to talk the Creole, to lose your tongue, and to distinguish, you know, the English sound, because majority of people can find the English sound with the Creole sound. That's why some islanders people born and grow and then they talk Creole and they believe in English when they talk. Just one little example. In English, the first letter of the alphabet is A. In Creole, the first letter of the alphabet is E. So in English, you say baby, but in Creole, you say baby. You differentiate the A sound from the E sound. Okay, these are things where you have to make people go and get conscious of, so you can differentiate the two things in your mind. In fact, Creole got one English base and one African base, linguistically speaking. you know. So you know the two part for English and got in African ingredients. No, when you come in a word like no, pitnene, they, when they, etc., then with the African word, particularly from West Africa. Okay, then with the ingredient way in a way, Creole also. So all these little things you have to go and make people understand them and distinguish them because they belong to an independent structure for one language we name Creole. That's what we do in the classroom with the student them. They make them understand that by studying the grammatics, but by reciting poems, singing songs, and developing up conversations. That's how you get to distinguish these things. And with the Islander particularly, when you discover say you talk Creole, and say you got one different pronunciation, you got one different structure, the verb to be is conjugated differently in a Creole from in a English. When you understand that as an Islander, you will be able even to strengthen your English. Because many times with the food we sell family, say we talk English when we talk Creole. So yeah, we need to distinguish these things. Alright?